Well. Thank you so much. Let me just stop the share for a second so I can see you fully frontal, as it were. So good to see you wherever it is you are. As a matter of fact, we are going to find out where you are in just a moment. We have got a really exciting Connect Plus. The next 35 minutes are going to go very fast. So make sure you're focused, make sure you've got some drink, and make sure you've got a pen and pencil, because I can tell you, or paper, there are going to be some really important things that you're going to take notes on and take some action on as well. Let's talk about where we're going to go. And those of you who are regulars on the Connect Plus, mind you, we did change the last one, but this one is going back to that format where we are going to have a look in the next 3 minutes at something very quick in my little segment called The Power of Small. Then the thing that everybody waits for, but some is very useful update. And I can tell you that there are some fascinating things coming up today, really fascinating things. Some things that have taken us a year to actually bring to B1G1. So stay tuned. Very things. And remember how Steve Jobs used to do his Apple thing, and then everything was finished, and he was like, just one more thing. Well, we have got just one more thing as well. Very important one as well. So let's begin with this very quick Power Small. Now, you really are going to need to take notes on this. And what we're going to do, oh, what am I doing that for? I have no idea. Oh, that was a happy birthday thing from some time ago. I'm not sure why that's there. Anyway, let's have a look at this Power of Small. And in order to do that, what I want us to do is to focus on this, focus on pricing. And I want to put pricing under the microscope, as it were. And many of us who've been around B1G1 or been part of B1G1 for a long time would know that that's one of the things that we talk about, particularly those of you who are premium partners, where we have the opportunity to connect one-on-one through the mentoring process. And if I were to think about anything that would so impact your business really quickly, it would be pricing. And when we look at pricing, there are all sorts of things that we need to look at in relation to what's called behavioral economics. For example, anchoring prices and all of those sorts of things. Well, as it turns out, 10 days ago, one of our very good friends in B1G1, her name is Bree Williams, you will have heard me talk about Bree, she produced this. Have a look at this. It's called The Little Book of Pricing and Payment. And it's about 120 pages. And you can see what it's about, getting customers to buy and getting customers to pay. And it's an awesome book. Seriously awesome. I mean, just have a look at the table of contents here, for example, and have a look at chapter 6. What do mangoes teach us about buying behavior? That's a really interesting chapter. Anyway, you can see all of this stuff, pay what you want, highs and lows of search. So many things collected from all over the world. And the point, the thing that I want you to do, and we've never done this before, so I want you to get that book. I really do want you to get that book. And I want you to do some good at the same time. Now, let's have a look at how you might do that. Well, turns out, here's the book again. It turns out that we have some links for you. Now, in fact, we will put these links in the chat in just a moment. The moment Masami starts speaking, I'll put the links in the chat. Now, don't go to them yet. I mean, if you want to go onto these links and get your browser, ready to go, but don't actually go to it. So here's the two links. First one is bit.ly. Now, notice the next bits after the / are in capitals. They have to be in capitals. And that gets you Bree's great little book. And you will invest just $9.95. And you can see all numbers here are in Australian dollars. Now, you could do that, or you could do something really amazing. By the way, the impact of this book, I mean, it's crazy. Is this going to put hundreds of dollars? Absolutely. Going to make a staggering difference to the way in which you communicate that critical thing of pricing, and indeed the way you charge as well, and the way you collect. So what we did together with Bree, we put together something very special that I know you're going to want to do. And it's this same link, except you put plus on the end of it, Bree Book Plus. And take a look at what happens. When you do this one, you get Bree's great little book, and just by you ordering the book, you feed 26 homeless I got a lump in my throat, Masami. You feed 26 homeless people, and look, just $14 gets you the book and gets you to do that. So no, you just go there and do that. And as I said, I'll put the link up in the chat in just a moment, or you can take a note of it, bit.ly. Make sure you do the capitals /Bree Book or Bree Book Plus. Go there and complete all of the details, and you will love it. Now, one of the things we do is we love to keep B1G1 Connect Plus really tight and so on. So this is the moment that people, I'm sure they just turn up for these moments. And these are moments with Masami. So Masami, if I go back, oh, look at that. There's that 26 thing again, really highlighted. So make sure you do that. I'm going to put it in the chat in just a moment. So now what we're going to do is we're going to change hosts. And I'm not sure how we're going to do that. Yeah, we are. So Masami is going to take over the screen share, which means that I have probably got to stop my screen share. Let me do that. And it means that Masami can start hers. And what I can do, there you go, Masami, just go ahead and start your screen share.
Okay, good morning, and great to see you, everybody. Well, I can't see you, but we will be seeing many of you soon, so I will talk about that in a minute. But I'd like to start the October update, linking back to something that Paul talked about as well, but you will see how.
Oh, yes,
Now,
that's true. That's true.
Yeah, in the October update, we want to focus on the B1G1 project. And when we say project, yes, like we have a lot of projects like organizing conferences or tours, or but this project is the project that you give to. So in the recent month, we had some exciting new developments, and I'm glad to share that with you. And you may have seen emails about this too. So if you go to B1G1 website, you know that you can scroll, keep scrolling down and down and down, and then you got endless like project appearing. So I guess like you've been giving to many of those projects that you are already familiar with. But then, whilst it seems a lot there, when we go to B1G1's map, it looks like this. So this is the B1G1 Business for Good map. If you haven't seen this because you are quite new to B1G1, then you can go to B1G1, businessesforgood.com, and then there's a map, and we've got a visualization of businesses and causes, the location of it. So what happens is some of those dots are like overlapping in the same location. So it's not the total number that you see as dots, but then again, like the location of those dots seems to have some clusters. So what happens is in certain regions, we are still yet to develop great connections, whether it's businesses, number of businesses, or the causes. So we've been exploring this, and we are really excited that we now have a new United States-based charity, what they called Rescuing Leftover Cuisine. And when we got to know them, actually, they didn't come to us as a normal, like a recommendation or, like what they call application. What happened was last year, when we are connecting with, actually more than a year ago, when we were connecting with new charity organizations, other charity organizations through this award program that we hosted called Charity Impact Award. We had many
CIA for short, which was quite fun at the time. Yeah.
So we had many great applications, but this organization seems to be one of really the innovative causes which we loved. So after that, so they won, one of the 5 awards. But then we started to talk with them to see whether they could apply to join to become one of the B1G1 projects, and they did. But with the whole assessment, it took a little bit longer. But what happened was they just came online on B1G1 project list, and the uniqueness of their approach is this. So if we look at the food wastage as one of the big issues in the world, if you look at the US alone, actually 40% of food get wasted every year. So that's unbelievable. And I guess for those of us who live in outside of the United States in different countries, the reality could be quite similar to this. And this 40% of food actually translates into 58 billion meals every year, which is astonishing. And so, but at the same time, 1 in 7 people in the United States is food insecure right now. And it seems like quite obvious that if we mobilize this food waste, we could feed everybody. But I want to introduce you to the founder and CEO of Rescuing Food Cuisine. So just here's a quick video extract from a documentary.
My parents were immigrants here, and they struggled. My brother and I remember times when we would not really know where our next meal is coming from. It's heartbreaking to see your parents just like skip meals. If you take just 1/3 of the food that's being wasted right now, brought it to the people who are food insecure, we could eliminate hunger. Like we literally produce enough food in this country to feed everyone. We just need to get it to the right people.
So far, RLC has rescued over 2 million pounds of food, enough for 1.7 million meals.
So this is very, very quick one. And if you want to find out more, they have the full documentary program posted, and we shared from B1G1's Facebook channel 2 page as well. So you can take a look at the full program too. So what we did was we talked with them, and then we actually realized that their program is run in very, very innovative and then also effective way. So what happens is, first of all, they have an army of volunteers. And many of them are students who care about these issues. So what happens is they go to visit restaurants and then convince them to join in this program. And then they also then go and collect food. The students will get mobilized and collect food from restaurants, and they deliver these leftover meals to participating shelters. And so then this food gets converted into meals. Also, another thing is that as a part of doing this, they did a research about the carbon emission and what happens when we save 1 pound of food. Then it's converted into 0.375 pounds of carbon emissions saved because of the ingredients being rescued, and because it doesn't go to landfill and it doesn't produce methane gases. So it's really like an interesting way of measuring the impact. So you today can go to B1G1 project list and then choose to either give a meal or actually help recruit one restaurant or save carbon emission. And then there is also quite interesting stats about what kind of carbon emission standard restaurant would have or the office business would have. So if you want to make your business carbon free, like then actually you can give to this project as well. So please check it out. So so this
Pretty
is
cool.
Yes.
And Martin, sorry, once you go into the next slide. By the way, the other way of contributing to this project is to buy that book, right? And by the way, my finger slipped on the chat, and so I put it up there like 17 times or something. But anyway, you can see the one that you want on the chat there. And Martin has made the point. Thank you, Martin. That Australia is not far behind considering the number of food banks that are there and so on. And so again, we'd love you to contribute some ideas as to how we can get this thing going even wider. But this is an awesome start.
And so that's in the United States, but it's spreading everywhere. Now, another project that we want to introduce you to is an even newer one, just came online. So you probably haven't seen anything about this. It's called Children Change Colombia. So if you look at the B1G1 Businesses for Good map and then see the project locations, South America, Central South America, there is a great void as well. And we got lots of great projects in Africa, Asia, but then South America, like people have been requesting. So this took also another almost close to a year to finalize all of the assessment. And then they finally get listed. And we will be listing a few more projects after this, but I'd like to introduce you to the problem that they are solving. So this organization focuses on actually protecting children at high risk of recruitment into armed groups or sexual exploitation. So in Colombia, you may not know that actually 87% of sexual violence comes committed, usually done against the children under 18. And then there are lots of problems around this. So I'd love you to go and then find out about this project too. So we introduced 2 new projects at first. So one of the project is to protect Colombian child from sexual exploitation. So you go to B1G1 project list, then you will find this project. And then there is also a training session, 4-hour training session being provided to help children to be like skilled in actually creating great future and then prevent all this exploitation happening to them as well. So please do check out those 2 projects and then support them if you resonate with that too. So
yeah. And lots of comments on the chat too, and which is great. Thank you, Stuart. Thank you, Linda, and all the others who are commenting. Yeah, make sure that if this sort of, I know Chris Becks down there in Warrnambool does all sorts of things like this. So make sure that you follow the lead here. And we thought this would be useful for you to know, so you can see something behind what it takes to get projects up on B1G1.
Yes.
So yeah, it's not easy. So thanks, Glenn.
Yes. And you
okay,
may be thinking that, like, I didn't know about these things, happening in B1J1. And then actually the reality is that we do like post quite a bit on social media, like almost every day, many times a week, we are posting new exciting updates. But these days, because you have so many other things going on, you may not always find out about what's happening. And then, so that's why it's one of the greatest reasons that you might want to continue to participate in the Connect Plus program, because here you kind of get the sense of it too, not just seeing a post, but on the day-to-day basis, if you want to know more about B1G1 project, what you can do is you log into your account, and then this is my account. So if you go to project update, so you can see it on the menu, project update, then actually the update from the project that you are giving to show up there. So there are some images there, and then also it shows you like the amount and you've created, like impact you created with those projects as well. And if you click on the image, you can download the image. So yeah, please tune into that. One more great thing is recently, like when we hit 150 million giving impacts, we said to all the worthy causes, would you like to submit a thank you video? And we created this wonderful video, which is posted on B1G1 Facebook community Facebook group there. So if you haven't seen it, you can go and take a look. But one good thing we are doing tomorrow is that we are getting the worthy causes in B1G1 together on a call like this. And it's the very first call that we do with the worthy cause group. And we will be talking about how all these causes and their volunteers, supporters, staff, like everybody can think about giving more meaningful and high impact updates to you as well. So we could be bringing in those updates in the Business for Good community too. So if you are not a part of the Facebook group yet, then please join or write to me and Paul and say, hey, I'm not in there, please add me in. And I'd love that connection to be happening everywhere all the time.
Exactly.
Now, the second update is B1G1 study tour, because there is no other great opportunity than the study tour to actually experience the impact of the project. So if you can take the time to do this, and it's really a life-changing opportunity, then what happened was B1G1 study tour for 2019, which is to Kenya, was like initially like way oversubscribed in the first announcement, but few people realized that that date doesn't work for them. So we still have a few slots available. So I put the link there. And then we would be doing like a final round of announcement to the community. But before we send any emails out, just because you are on this call, if you want to get this opportunity, then you can take a look at that link.
And Masami, you might, sorry to interrupt you, but you might not have seen the chat. But if you look,
I can't see the chat.
No,
so
don't worry about the chat. Yeah, but one of the people there carrying water is Linda. And of course, the women do this, 20 liters, and it's hard to get it on your head. Anyway, Linda, just on the chat, some of you may see it, said, go with lots of O's if you can. It's amazing. And it seriously is.
Yes, it is.
And you can see the little mud house
so that
building there and everything on the right-hand side. Yeah.
Yes. September 2019.
Yeah.
All right. So then the third update is this. It's called the Impact of the World Tour. We've been talking about this just a few times, but I want to remind all of you, because we will be coming most likely to a city near you, or somewhere accessible from you, because we will be going to many places. And schedule have been confirmed. So at the last Connect Plus, we mentioned this, but we didn't have the venue and the date booked in. So we didn't have a link to share. So now we've got all the links ready to go. If you go to b1g1.com/Impact World Tour, one word, no hyphen, no spacing, Impact World Tour, then you have access to the links from here. So just US dates are not confirmed, so you can't click through, but other regions, the links are there, and then you can go and book. And Paul, do you have something to?
Yeah, I do. Let me just talk with you about this. And I know many of us on the call are coming. And even better, many of us on the call are leveraging the fact that you're coming. I want to talk about that for just a minute. But some of you know why this is a really important tour. For me, the magic of this tour actually begins with the letter M, and as well, and that's Masami. And this is going to be the first time for 8 years that we have been on the stage formally, as opposed to the conference, formally running an entire morning of really groundbreaking stuff. And we've been working for quite a long time now, putting the program together so that it's a very, very exciting program, whether you're new or old to B1G1. So you do need to be there. And all you need to do, obviously, is click on those links. That link right there, b1g1.com/Impact World Tour. Go click on it and make sure that you're there. Now, there's two other things I want to say about it. First of all, again, let me say that again, the opportunity to share time with Masami is, I think, and again, you might think I'm biased, but very, very special. And, you're going to hear some things about the whole sort of Inspired Leadership Award that she won, previous winners of that, Mr. Gates and, Miss Gates, Melinda, and Sir Richard Branson. And we're going to look at a lot of things about how you create a business that really matters. Now, interestingly enough, because you're in B1G1, what you can choose to do is you can choose to stay for lunch as well, which is going to be great. And then after lunch, we've got this kind of unplugged session, which you can actually bring your team members to as well, where we're just going to be connecting as a community, as a movement, if you will, and sharing all sorts of ideas in that unplugged kind of way. So it's more than just sitting in a room and, experiencing Paul and Masami and getting interactive with that, much more than that. And of course, you'll be connecting with lots of great businesses who are like you, who are part of the B1G1 movement. So make sure that you're there, and make sure that you go to some of the links that we've sent you where you can invite your business owner friends to be with you as well. What a great way, not just of giving and of making a difference, but also of leveraging the difference by getting other people there. So make sure that you do that. There you go, Masani. Did you want to add anything to that?
No, it's great. Yeah, so you can just share this b1g1.com/impact world tour with anybody too. But I think we've sent you a link to the place where you can download some of the event banners and things like that if you want to use video or graphic with your sharing. So please do spread the word. And this is one fantastic opportunity to really grow our movement together. So thank you for being there as well.
Sorry, Diane is just asking if there are any sponsorship opportunities, and Diane, what we'll do is they're mostly gone, but there are some in some states.
All right, and so that's B101 update. But then I'm actually well known for saying this. Just one more thing.
One more thing. Those of
Usually
you
three things,
would know. Yeah, just one more thing.
Just one more thing. So just this one more thing. I just want to show you a video of messaging that one of the B101 members created. So just tune in, please.
At Wanderlust Travel Co. and Sydney Facile, we care deeply for our clients and also the broader community. We also believe that every business has the responsibility and the power to change lives by simple acts of kindness. Our partnership with Buy One Give One enables us to make high-impact donations to Cambodian families as well as Aboriginal communities right here in Australia. By doing business with us, you help us impact the lives of thousands of people in need. And it's all made possible thanks to you. So from the bottom of our heart, thank you.
So nice, that one. So nice.
Yes. So this thank you message, like we just wanted to share with you because this is our also, we feel that, this thank you is from us to you as well, that it's easy, it's not too difficult for business to say, oh, we donated to a charity, right? Like we proudly support this charity. So that can happen in any way. But I think what's very, very special in what's happening here is that we chose to do it together. And by choosing to do it together, then what happens is we could just, really enable causes around the world to achieve amazing things too, and create a greater awareness. So when we get inspired by projects like Leftover Cuisine or, what's happening in Colombia, or we don't necessarily have to give to all of the 500 plus projects to feel good about it, but it's just that if we do something in this community, it translates in impact, and you together working with many businesses around the world, we are supporting all of those hundreds of projects, and we can bring many, many more projects on board from here as well as we connect with more businesses. So really, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Masami, stay tuned. But if you just give me back my the screen share just for a moment, could you do that? I think if I press that button.
Okay.
No, I've got it. We're good. And you saw that video, and it's a beautiful video. And I'm going to show you another beautiful video. You don't have to do the beautiful video. And I'm going to show you something that is kind of interesting. Have a look at this. This is so what? It was just a Facebook post. And what we're seeing when you have a look at Sal is something really, really interesting going on here. So have a listen to this. It's just 55 seconds, and I think you'll love it. Have a listen.
I'm really excited to share that What's Next PX is now officially members of B1G1, just like What's Next and Your Secret Sauce. We have joined now and just made our first giving impacts. So we have just then provided a business loan, provided bookkeeping skills, and also a business training program, all to women in Malawi. And that's because part of our vision at What's Next PX is to help 100 female entrepreneurs in developing countries to start a business and create a future for themselves, because I'm a big believer that entrepreneurship creates the opportunity for us to provide for our families and our communities, and there's nothing more important than those women in developing countries having that opportunity. Obviously, females in entrepreneurship is incredibly close to my heart, so I'm super excited that What's Next PX is B1G1, and we've got our goal of 100 women a year starting a business that are in developing countries. Yeah.
See, it doesn't require, you know, lots of studios and all of those sorts of things. You know, just the thing. And what I think is really interesting about that, yes, Sal has 3 businesses, and each of those businesses is now in B1G1, and clearly, you know, Sal's pretty excited about it. But what I think is really exciting is we're not just seeing people, and we're seeing this more and more now. We're not just seeing people setting, you know, sales targets and those kind of things, but we're seeing them setting you know, giving goals, and you know, people like Ben and Harvey at Inspire are doing things like that. But now there's so much more, because Masami, I know, if I just kill that just for a second, I know that you wanted to share something else just before we go. Can we do that?
This.
And this is actually an appropriate place to end, right? Because here we are in October, November's soon, and then it's December, and guess what?
Yeah, and then it's the thank you season coming up, and you know, I think you will be thinking about how to thank all your teams or your clients, everybody that you feel grateful for. And just wanted to remind you, because you may want to prepare in advance, that B1G1's range of giving cards that actually create great giving impacts is there. So if you go to this link, which we will be sending to you as well, you can get these beautifully designed giving card in a bulk quantity at really extraordinary price, like, which is far cheaper than just buying normal gift card. And each card has a beautiful giving story incorporated as well. So please take a look. And then if you want to get all the cards ready to go before December, then please grab it now. And next time we see you on Connect Plus, I think it will be early December after we finish the UK tour. So we look forward to seeing you then before Christmas. We look forward to seeing you at your city when we come over to Australia, New Zealand, and United Kingdom.
And Masami, just stop your share for a minute. Just stop your share for just a second. Yeah, just stop it for a second. There you go. Now we can see you. Okay, so I'd love to see why. So lots of things. By the way, thank you for all the comments. Just terrific comments. Thank you very, very much, because we do put a lot of thought into how we're going to do these Connect Pluses, and it's just so nice to get your feedback. Of course, this only works because you're here, and we are just so grateful that you're here. So thank you for being here. Masami, did you want to add just another thing, or?
No, I already done just one more thing. And if anything I would add, then I want to add one more big thank you to all of you for taking time to be on this call, but more importantly, for being a part of this amazing movement. So thank you.
Exactly. And we will see you on the Impact World Tour in a city close to you. Take care, everybody. Thanks for being here. Bye. Bye-bye.